welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Isobel. Today is Tuesday the 9th, which is, you know, kind of into 2024 now, but I thought I'd make a video about what I'm doing going into 2024, goals, resolutions. I never call them resolutions, but going with goals, and planning and how I'm doing all of that. So we'll just get straight onto it, I guess. So the first thing that I want to focus on is goals. I am actually part of a monthly membership. Let me firstly just explain. So it's a service I pay for from Pink Media Socials, which is run by Lolly Robertson. She is incredible, the queen. We love. Like I said, it's a monthly membership. We have monthly calls, a masterclass and a catch-up call, and we had one on the 4th, I think, of January, like what we would call a catch-up call, where it's kind of chatty, just talking about what's been going on, what we're planning to do, and we really like spoke about goals a lot. Like Lolly took us through like a PowerPoint that she'd made, and we talked about how we were going to make our goals and just all that kind of stuff. So I went and did that. So I actually used a Google spreadsheet, or Google Sheets, I think that's what they're called, Google Sheets, to list out my goals. So I did personal goals and business goals. Obviously you can do this, you can have goals specifically tailored to lots of different bits of your life. You could have like self-care goals, social goals, business goals. You could have goals within your business. You can have the amount I make goals, like do you want to make this much money by this time, this much money by this time, things like that. Or you could be like, I want to hire this many people by this time, this many people by this time. There's loads of different goals that you could make, but I just kept it quite simple: personal, business. So what I'm actually going to do is redo all of my goals. There's 20 of them, 10 personal, 10 business. I know some people don't like to share their goals because if they fail them then they'd be embarrassed by it. I'm not one of those people. If I don't like hit a goal, I'm not going to embarrass myself. Like, I'm not going to punish myself for if I don't manage to complete every 20 goals in a year is like actually quite a lot of things. And I've already done a 20 before 20, which is where I had a year from 19 to 20 to do 20 things, and I did maybe 12, maybe under 12 probably even. So I think you've just got to take everything with a pinch of salt and just live. But these are my goals, so we'll start with personal ones. So the first one is to read more. I want to read more because I think either way, like however I want to look at it, it would help me. I'm a creative person. I think reading books helps with creativity. Make sure if you're reading like a non-fiction book, say for example, on my channel I read Red, White and Royal Blue. I reviewed it. So when I was reading Red, White and Royal Blue, obviously at that point the film hadn't come out, and I had all these images of what, not so much the people, because I feel like I was probably imagining the people as Henry and Alex that we saw in the film because I knew the cast, but I didn't know the scenery, kind of, if you get what I mean. Like when they would be like in this room, I would picture what that room looked like and I could draw it for you. Like, even though now I know what the rooms looked like that they were talking about from the film, I still have my own vision of what they look like. Do you know what I mean? And then there's also the side of it, well, if you don't want to think of it creatively, there's lots of factual books, and I love factual books. For a while I would only read like factual, whether it was biography or like someone telling a story of like their experience doing something. I just wouldn't read anything that was made up, but Red, White and Royal Blue and Heartstopper have really weaved their way into what I read. The next way is to wake up earlier. I just feel like I need to fix my sleeping schedule, and I'm one of those people that to fix my sleeping schedule like a while back I would have genuinely done an all-nighter, and there is some form of logic behind that. My thinking is, if I'm waking up at like 5 p.m. I would genuinely, not that long ago, I was waking up at 5 p.m. That's horrific and I'm aware of that. I would wake up at 5 p.m. and I was like, how can I fix this? If I do an all-nighter, then I'd be really, really tired when it got to like the next night. So I'd be able to fall asleep at a reasonable time to wake up at a reasonable time. Realistically, you just start going to bed earlier and earlier and earlier. You don't just skip an entire night. That's not good. Next one is wear makeup more. As you can see, I am doing so right now. I feel like for a lot of people, wearing makeup is something that they would almost want to do less because I guess they want to be more confident. But I feel like, I mean, last year I think I worked out I wore makeup 4 times in the entire year of 2023. I'm plenty confident without wearing makeup, but people love to buy me makeup for Christmas and birthday because it's just something simple, isn't it? Like, just buy an eyeshadow palette or whatever. So I have a lot of makeup and it was going to waste, and I thought, why not just put it on my face? So there it is. And I'm not actually bad at, let me show you closer. You see that? I'm not bad at it. I think I still look like me. I'm not an entirely different colour. I mean, to be fair, this isn't exactly my colour. I need to get matched again. Joe, they take a picture of your skin. But I think I was more tan. I think I'd just been on holiday when I got this one matched. Get back into languages. I know a bit of, I mean, fluent in English, but I know a bit of Spanish, a bit of sign language, and I know more Swedish. I could probably have a small conversation in Swedish with someone about very specific topics. And I want to get back into it because I really enjoy learning other languages. The next one is go out more. Now this just means like leaving the house. Could be go in the garden. I very rarely leave the house, especially this time of year when it's cold. I want to cry rather than leave the house. Actually no, I'd rather just stay in the house. If I left the house, I would be more likely to cry. I just don't enjoy it, but it's good to get outside and be in the fresh air and get some vitamin D. Get more steps in is my next one. So I'm gonna like gradually work this up. At the moment it's do at least 1k steps a day. Once I've done that for a little while, like, I mean, so far I've got over 1k steps every day. I'm currently on 1,245 and it's midday. So like, I'm doing well, but I want to start it off small and build it up. There would be days where I would do 200 steps a day, which is awful. Like, that's awful. Like, did I ever move? That was probably literally me walking downstairs to get some food, walking upstairs, having a wait. Like, I need to move more. Be more consistent in posting on my personal socials. So I have business socials, but I would call this my YouTube personal socials and my Instagram. And I feel like there's times when I'm like really good and then I'll just disappear, and then I'm like back and then I disappear, and I want to not do that because I feel like even if other people aren't bothered by it, it does bother me. I like it to look all nice and consistent. So when it says like 9 months ago, 3 months ago on my YouTube, I'm like, I don't like it. Wash my face twice a day, every day. It seems simple, I'm aware of that, but like, it seemed so much more effort to reach for a soap rather than just using water. But I have started using a soap to wash my face and it's fine. I mean, I haven't really noticed a difference, but it has been less than a week, so I mean, I don't know what difference I'm meant to be looking for either anyway, but it's just to have routine and build habits and things like that, which we'll get a bit more onto anyway. Learn to drive. Now, I'm 20 years old. In England, we can learn to drive at 17. 16 if you're driving like a little moped, like a little motorbike, tiny one. You can be 16. But to drive a car, it's 17. I'm obviously 20. This year I will turn 21, which is mad. Part of the reason that I have not learnt how to drive so far is just I feel like I'm doing a lot of other stuff, and also I never knew who was going to teach me to drive, but one of my neighbours changed his profession and he's now a driving instructor, so I will be contacting him by walking 2 doors down. And yeah, I mean, mainly my only worry for driving is other people. I trust myself to drive, I just don't trust other people, because I for 20 years have been a passenger and witnessed other people driving. It's interesting out there on the roads. Also, I feel like recently, within the last like year and a half, people on motorways have lost their minds. The things I've seen on motorways, oh yeah. And then the last one for personal goals is to hang out with people more. I just feel like I don't have much of a social life. That's it, I just don't have much of a social life, so I should probably work on that. Okay, then I'm gonna do business goals, kind of just a quick run through them. Get to 400 Instagram followers on Isobel's Arts. I'm currently on like 107, I think, currently. Make £500 on sales. By the way, these are like incremental, so like once I hit this, I'll put the number up here, put the number up here, put the number up, so on and so forth. It's just to like keep you motivated to like keep going to the next step, you know what I mean? Collaborate with other creators. In what sense I mean that, I'm not 100% sure. I could collaborate with another artist, or I could collaborate with an influencer, or I could collaborate with a band, or I could collaborate, you know, there's so many options. But I want to in some way work with somebody else. Get an iPad and Procreate. I'm actually currently working on this quite instantly, because I really want to make some different product, and I want to be able to do some really good digital art. And I think Procreate, from what I've seen people on the internet using, is like one of the best ones out there. I also think just an iPad is, and it's an investment, but I've spoken to people and they say that they're a good investment, so that's what I'm going to do. Have a go at selling digital downloads. I've been brainstorming, thinking of things that I could sell as digital downloads. I just want to give it a try. I've seen a lot of people doing it, and I want to see how I could take things that other people do and make it into something that works for my business. Go to in-person markets. This one isn't like an instant thing, it's something to build up to, but I would like to try it at some point. Going to like an in-person market, having like my things out on the desk and being like, hi, how are you? Because I love going to markets, like small businesses selling at markets. I think they look like so much fun to be a part of, so yeah, I want to try that. Selling outside the UK. Now this obviously, like, I'm sure a while back it was a lot easier, but obviously with like Brexit and stuff, there's a lot of like specific rules that you've got to follow, and I don't want to break any rules. Next one is get business cards. Again, it's not something that I instantly feel that I need, but at some point within the year I think I would like to have business cards. I think they're professional. I don't know, some people say that there's no need for them, but I do, because I have probably 20 business cards. I keep every business card that I've ever had, because I'm like, even if I don't want to buy from this company right now, if it's not something for me, I'll be like, okay, they sell wallets, I don't need a wallet, but at some point I might need an idea for a present for a man that would like a wallet. And you can, yeah, you get my point. And then the last one is get more eco-friendly. I just think that this day and age we need to be a bit more eco, and whether eco-friendly is exactly the word for my business, I don't know. Maybe sustainable product packaging, things like that. I mean, I'm gonna use the stuff that I have now. I have bubble wrap and things like that, which is obviously plastic, and sellotape, which is plastic, but I may as well use it up, because otherwise it would just be a waste anyway. So I may as well use what I've got, and then the next time I need to order new packaging materials, I get ones that are sustainable. And it's just down to researching different companies that I can get that stuff from. They are my personal goals and my business goals. The way I went about coming up with them, first of all, was thinking about personal and business, but then think about the things you want to be able to say, I've done this, by the end of the year. At the end of the year, when people have been like, so what did you do in 2024? What do you want to be able to say? Oh, I did this. They're going to be your goals, aren't they? Then you can go into like a why you want that to be your goal, because the more that you know why you want it to be your goal, the more you can be like, yeah, no, I really want that to be my goal. So you'll work harder towards it. And then how are you going to do that goal? How will you accomplish that? Are you going to break it down into steps? Is there something you need to buy to complete that goal? Do you need to therefore work towards buying that thing, whatever it is? I don't know, I'm just giving you ideas. You can reward yourself for your goals. You know, if you know that when you, I don't know, make £1,000, you can buy something in particular, it's going to incentivize you to do it. So yeah, there's also obviously SMART goals. I'll put on screen what SMART goals are. just in case you're unaware. So it's specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and something to do with time. So you have to think about those things, whether they relate to your goals. So if you just say, I'm gonna have 1 million followers, okay, but in what time scale are you gonna have 1 million followers? You know, you've got to be realistic, and yeah, just work around it like that. So one thing that's gonna help you achieve your goals is planning, right? There's so many different ways you can plan, and I'm just gonna go through some of them and briefly chat about them. This video has been so long already. I've already been filming for 30 minutes, so I'm gonna have to do a lot of editing. The first thing, I mean, it's really in the word, to plan. You can use a planner. I love my planner. I'm gonna show it to you and talk about it because I feel like it's such a good planner, and I'm gonna tell you who created it and a bit about them. I've not been asked to say this. I'm just saying this because I really like the product. This isn't sponsored. I just feel like not gatekeeping. Do you know what I mean? So this is the planner. It's Just Work Lifestyle Planner. It's by Joanna Wilson. Joanna Wilson is an incredible woman. The lighting keeps changing because I'm using natural lighting. I'm very sorry for that. But yeah, Joanna is a real all-rounder. She does a lot of different things. She does gymnastics and she does management, and she is a YouTuber. Her brother is Niall Wilson, the my voice is going. That's how long I've been speaking for. Her brother is an Olympian. He won bronze in the men's gymnastics at the Rio 2016 Olympics. He's very inspiring. She is also very inspiring. Seriously, I need a drink. My god. I'm back. See, my voice sounds better now I've had a drink. So yeah, she's just very inspiring, very hardworking. Her like phrases, just work. Like, if you just work, you can do it. Just put work into it and you'll do it. So the planner, it has a bit at the beginning as well, which I adore, that kind of explains to you how to use the planner successfully. See all that writing? It's very simply worded. It's not confusing. It's great. I haven't filled this bit out yet, but you've got like your, what is it? This is me, biggest achievements, your definitions of some things, your dreams for the future, your 1-year plan, your game plan, which is going more into one of those goals for your year plan. You write what you want to achieve by the end of the year, what's holding you back, how will you overcome that, and then you go into one of the goals more specifically. It's just such a good way to get everything that's in your brain down onto paper. It's laid out so well. Then you go on to like your basic month. So you've got the calendar view, you've got habits tracker at the bottom here for 3 habits, positive self-talk, personal goals, work goals, self-care checklist, self-development checklist, monthly mantras, birthdays, events and deadlines. You literally, I'm telling you, everything is in this. Then you move on to your weekly plan. So see, it's got all different times. It goes from 7 AM to 9:30 PM. At the bottom you've got like a checklist. I'll show you on the blank side. So you've got, have you drank enough water, have you eaten healthy, have you worked out, have you done self-care, and then these boxes are for today I'm grateful for and something good that happened today was. Then you get to the end of a month, which I obviously haven't done yet because it's still January. How I worked hard in the month of January. Describe the month in 3 words. Did I take time this month for self-care and self-development? This month highlights, accomplishments, how my attitude's different to last month. Did I take the time each day for my positive self-talk? Improvements I can make, overall monthly ratings for like your happiness, your productivity and things like that. Goals that you completed that are in progress to tackle next month. And then you go back to the monthly plan. It's such a good way to organise your thoughts onto paper so that you can kind of just get the thoughts out of your brain. And then what I do, once I've got all my timings in, I'll do each day. Some people plan a whole week at a time. I plan day by day because my days can change quite fast. So I say on Monday, I wrote out Tuesday's to-do list. It's kind of like a to-do list but giving times to do each task. And then I use my phone, I go on my alarms and I set alarms at every time that I should be changing what I'm doing. I don't name the alarms, I keep them blank so that I have to literally stop what I'm doing, get up, look at what I should be doing next, think, do I have to start that immediately and leave what I'm doing, or can I quickly finish what I'm doing and then move on to it? And I assess that in the moment. So that's how I use a planner. The next one is calendars. I've got this calendar this year. Oh my god, why can't I flip this over? It's a 2024 family calendar. I saw Ewan Carrington talk about this, great YouTuber by the way. So instead of using it for like mum, dad, kid 1, kid 2, you organise different parts of your life into each section so that you're not getting all muddled up. So I've got social life, so like when you're meeting up with friends, say Instagram, YouTube, and you can organise different bits of your life into different areas, and it's brilliant. This also has a to-do list, a remember list, and a shopping list. Sorry if there was a change in the angle, I just ran out of storage and I had to delete a few things, so I had to move the camera for a second. I can't exactly remember where I was. I think I was talking about calendars. Obviously I've just talked about the paper real life calendar, but yeah, there's lots online. So there's Google Calendars. In this video from last year, I spoke about Google Calendars and how I use that. I use it a little bit less now, still great though. Still very useful, especially for if you're doing something with someone. When you put it in, you can add them so that they also get reminded that you've got that event coming up or whatever. So there's Google Calendars, and there's also ones that are slightly like a calendar but are called habit trackers. And there's actually, I've got one on my phone, it's just called Habits. It's a blue square with like a rounded arrow, and I've got it to track all my things. These are the widgets, and then if I click on one, this is it. So it's got all the habits down the side, and then days at the top, and the amount that you've done, so you tick whether you've done it or whether you've not done it. Or like my steps one, I put the number of steps that I've done each day in. If you then click onto one, it does show it you in a calendar format. So it's a type of calendar, but it is a habit tracker. Also just use alarms on your phone to remind you to do things. Alarms, notifications, reminders. If you've got an app like this Habits app, you can make it do reminders at certain times during the day to be like, did you remember to do this? The habit that you wanted to keep on top of. And then I want to talk about 2 more things. One being Notion. Notion it can be quite confusing at first, I will fully admit that, but it's so, once you get used to how it works and how to organise it, it's so good at organising your life for you. Like, it just does it all for you. Got to-do lists, drop-down lists, bullet point lists, numbered lists, it's got page links, you can embed things into it, you can add images, you can highlight bits of text that you want to keep more visible to you so you can remember it, or you know, I've got Notion, I've got it on my computer and I've got it on my phone, and you can watch some YouTube videos of people using it to see what it's like, but literally, like, it just keeps everything organised. Like, I've got what I'm absorbing in 2024. If I click on that, it tells you the TV shows I've watched, the books I've watched, the podcasts I've watched, because I want to know everything. I have a habit tracker on here which slightly tracks my habits differently, but it's a bit more detailed. So if I go to daily, so I've got my habits, like my main habits from my habits tracker on my phone, but then I've also got my mood, so I put every day what mood I'm feeling, then the weather for every day. So far these are the weather of the days of this year: cold, cold and rainy, cold and rainy, dull and cold, cold and dull, cold and dull, dull and cold, cold and dull. It's been a great year, hasn't it, so far? Can't wait for the sun to come out. And then I've got notes, so I kind of just put in a brief little sentence about that day. So on the 2nd, went to Tattersall. On the 3rd, went to lots of antique shops. On the 6th, I got lots of planning done. That's how I use Notion. And then the last one is reMarkable. So reMarkable is not an app, well, it does have an app, but a reMarkable is an actual physical thing. It's like a tablet. Where is it? Thought I'd just show you. So this is a reMarkable. It has a pen, I just haven't picked it up, but a pen that magnets to the side of it. Mine obviously is not in a case, but you can get a case. You can also get a keyboard, but you can also just use the one on screen. It's a digital notepad, basically. I think the reason this works really well for me is because obviously like you can have paper notepads, that's great. But say if you want to take, say you're going on a trip somewhere and you want to take your notepad with your habit tracker in, your notepad with your diary in, your notepad with your work notes in, with your ideas in, whatever you use different notebooks for. This has them all in one, so you can just take this, or with the app on your phone it syncs up and you've got them all on your phone. So it works really well in that sense, and also it works with the sun, so when the sun shines on it, it doesn't blind you like a piece of paper would. It's great. It doesn't connect to the internet, which to some people might seem like a disadvantage, but I actually think because it doesn't connect to the internet, it allows you to not be distracted by the internet. If I'm taking notes and I think, oh, what's that? I'll just quickly go on my phone, find it, go back to my reMarkable, write it down, and I keep going. I always get so much done when I'm using my reMarkable. So you can also do, you can write it in your handwriting, you can type. If you write something in your handwriting and then you want to have it typed up, you can convert it to text, send it to yourself in an email, you can import pictures onto it to annotate. It's incredible. It's genuinely incredible, and I am going to do a whole video of an updated review on it. I did one a while back, which is my most popular video on my channel actually, and I recently got a comment of someone asking to do an updated version after having it for over a year now, so I'm going to do that. But I think you can already tell just from this that I still love it and I still use it, so I'm not saying buy one, they're expensive, but if you were already thinking about it, or you know, if you've never heard of it and you're like, oh, that's a new thing that I can have a look at, yeah, it's great, it really is. So that's how I'm personally planning my life. You don't need a reMarkable to do it, you don't need any of the things. These just are what work for me. They're ideas that they might work for you too. So with that, I'm going to end the video because it's been quite a long one. Yeah, I hope you have a lovely day, hope you're enjoying the new year, and that you managed to complete all your goals. The next video on my channel will actually be the reMarkable review update, and then I've got some other fun, exciting videos to come. But if you've got any ideas of video ideas for me, leave them in the comments. Comment how you're planning, if you've got any other ideas for things that you do to keep on top of things. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, turn post notification bell on so that you get notified when I post. I always forget this, so I'm just going to say it. When you click the notification bell, you have to then click all to get all the notifications. I don't know what just clicking notifications does, because when I click that I never get notified, so I'm going to leave it there. Bye.